Hi, welcome to episode 14 of the Dear to Me Knits podcast. My name is Dearyg. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Dear to Me Knits, and I also have a Ravelry group called the Dear to Me Knits podcast. And on there right now, you can find information about our current knit along and introduce yourself. And it's not super busy, but you know, we have fun. So pop on over there and say hi. Thank you for joining me today. I made a list of things to talk about, and so I just completely decided to skip the introduction and get down to business, I guess. I am running a knit along in the Ravelry group right now called the Make 9 Along. This hashtag right here will get you some pictures on Instagram and everything. The knit along started September 1st and goes through midnight on New Year's Eve. And you can knit anything from your Make 9 for this year or from your Ravelry queue that you've just been meaning to get around to. And, you know, you get distracted by all the shiny new patterns, or, you know, you just have all kinds of stuff you have to knit. And so this is your chance to get around to those things that you've been meaning to knit and you just haven't done it. So the rules are that it needs to be a new cast on. There are two groups for prizes. There is a group for 150 grams or less and a group for 150 grams or more. And I will draw a winner from each one of those groups. Yeah, so just enter, post your Make 9 or your queue screenshot with the you know, the picture of the project that you're going to knit, cast it on, finish it, and post your finished object in the appropriate thread. And yeah, probably the first of the year I'll go ahead and draw those winners. Yay! So, since I brought that up at the top of the episode, I wanted to go ahead and share something that I received from Shipwreck Sheep. And this is going to be part of the prize for one of the groups. So this is from Shipwreck Sheep. It's on a sparkly sock base, and this is her Dirty Beach colorway, and I love it so much. Oh yeah, that's just her business card and a sticker, but yeah, super excited about this. So, you know, get in there, get entered, and get your object, finished object, put up there, and you could win. That's the start of my little pool of prizes that I'm slowly accumulating. So, you know, keep coming back to see what else I'm gonna chuck in there, and see if that's something you're interested in winning. Okay, I think I'm ready to start my whips. Everything's kind of jumbled together, so I mean, if you could see the amount of stuff I have to share today, holy cats, it's a lot. Yeah, there's a whole bunch here. A lot. Okay. Oh, this needs to, I just brought this down to stick in my little book section right here. So I will do that. Yay. That's done. All right. So I'll show, wait. Oh, I'll show my finished objects first. Oh my goodness. I wrote down whips first for some reason, but I want to show my finished objects first because I have a few. So first is the boys' socks, which are done. These are out of Patton's stretch sock in the mineral colorway. I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel, and these were toe up socks, I believe. I think, yes, they were toe-up socks. Because I absolutely hate binding off toe-up socks. But I like knitting toe-up socks because then I can quit when I feel like it and not have to like slog through. Because I wanted to make these probably about this long, and I was like, you know what? I'm over it. I'm gonna stop these socks now, so I did. Hey. But anyway, so yeah, pretty socks on a pretty blocker. Then I have 2 finished hats, which I will post pictures of because I knit them for an auction for my kids' school, so they are already donated to the auction. First is it's the hurricane hat pattern, and I do not remember the designer's name off the top of my head, but I will put that down at the bottom. And that was out of, the Joanne brand, like Chunky Big Twist, something like that. Not Chunky, just Big Twist, I think, white yarn. I showed it a few episodes back. And I didn't really pay that much attention to what it was called or what the colorway name was or anything, but the colors are the kids' school colors. So yeah, hurricane hat with a big pom-pom, which I made with my Clover pom-pom maker. I got this as a gift from a fiber share, my first fiber share that I did. This was part of our package, so I love it, and it came in handy. So yeah, and then the second hat is just a ribbed beanie out of the leftovers from this cardigan here. So it's this stripe or this section and this section striped. And those are the local high school's colors. So that worked out really well. So I got those done and donated, and we'll see how they do at the auction. Hopefully really well. People usually like my hats. Everybody always asks me at this time of year if I'm going to be donating hats. So yeah. And my last finished object, it's finished-ish. Okay, so the ends are woven in, but it really needs blocked. I don't know if you can see why right here. I knit these on a 9-inch circular needle. And I mentioned last episode, yeah, you can really see right here how it gets wider. I mentioned last episode that I was really intrigued by the idea of knitting all my socks on 9-inch circulars. I don't think I'm going to, and the reason why is because my tension is just completely really erratic. And you know, for this it's not that big a deal. Like I can kind of, you know, like pin it out to where it's, you know, it looks even on the sides. But, you know, for a sock, that's just a little I don't like a wonky sock. So I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm such a fidgeter. Anyway, so yeah, this is out of Oink Pigments Targy sock in the Bee's Knees colorway. It's left over from my brother's chalk bag that I knit. And I have about 30 grams left, which is just enough to make myself a pair of ankle socks. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I don't know when I'll cast those on because I already have like 3 pairs of socks that I'm dying to make myself, but they'll get made. I'm on a yarn diet next year, so lots of socks. Okay, so those are my, where did I put my other, didn't I have another finished object to show? Oh, the sock right there, okay. Yeah, and the boys basically wore those straight off the needle, so I had to go like dig them out and wash them so I could show them to you guys. Or just one, even I didn't even wash them both, I just washed the one. Okay. Oh yeah, I also wanted to talk about, along with those socks, so I used the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I adore the Fish Lips Kiss pattern, and this is primarily the reason why. I think this is the most genius idea. She gives you a tutorial on how to make a little foot template to know exactly when to turn the heel, and exactly, if you're doing top down, exactly where to start the toe and all that stuff, and it's just magical. It's the best thing ever, in my opinion. And so I wanted to encourage you, if you have not downloaded that pattern, to go ahead. And this works even for, in my experience, it works even for it works for any heel. So even like German short row heels, which is actually, now that I think about it, that is on that sock is a German short row heel, not a Fish Lips Kiss heel. But I still use my Fish Lips Kiss foot. So yeah, so it works for German short row heels. It works for heel flap and gusset heels. Just like, I love this. I think it's the best ever. So so definitely, even if you don't use the actual heel trick or whatever method that she uses, just the template alone is worth, I think it's like $1 on Ravelry. So, and the other thing I really, really love, let's see, I've got, and I talked about on a previous episode, is my, my sock rulers. So I have a little baby guy, for infant and baby sizes, a kid size, and then an adult size. I love these. I think they're great. I really like it for, like, if I'm knitting a sock for somebody and I know their shoe size, but that's about it. I can get on the Craft Yarn Council website and get like approximate measurements off of there, and then from there use my sock rulers, kind of the same way I would use my Fish Lips Kiss template to do my socks. So these are incredible. Let's see. Yeah, thesockruler.com, and I will also link that. But yeah, these are amazing, and I definitely recommend go ahead and grabbing this set. It's not that much more expensive, and, you know, handy as heck, let me tell you. Yeah, I've had those for quite a while, and I've used all 3 of them, so I love them. Okay, so whips. Let's see. I'll dig out Mom's blanket first. Just pop these over here. And I had to move Mom's blanket into this bag because it was outgrowing the bag that it was in. Oh, now I've got a full collapse situation happening here. Okay, so, oh, I'm in the middle of a row. That's no fun. Okay, let me see. Okay. I'll just kind of, so where the tassel is there is where I was on last episode, and as you can see, I've done a little bit of knitting on this over the past couple of weeks. So let me see if I can stand up and give you the kind of the scope of how big it is. Maybe, I can't even fit it in the screen anymore. Look at this. This is, well, I measured it before I worked on it last night, and it was 22 inches. And it's definitely more than that now because I did like 7 rows on it last night during my live chat on Instagram. So, so yeah, I still have quite a ways to go, obviously. But I worked out that if I do 5 rows a day, I can have it done on the 20th, which would be great. I'm probably not gonna like block this. I don't even know if I'll throw it in the washer. Kind of don't know what I'll do as far as washing it goes, because I don't really want to throw it in the dryer. But obviously this thing is gonna be way too big to just lay out somewhere. So I haven't really made it that far yet, But, you know, it's a garter stitch blanket, so it doesn't need like block. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no lace to open up or cables or anything like that. So, I kind of like the idea of leaving it nice and squishy and not stretching out the garter any. We'll see. It's got a long way to go. It's tiring to think about, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? Obviously, where's my tassel? Obviously, I'm doing okay. This, let me see. That's a substantial amount of knitting on 150 garter stitches. And this tassel, by the way, I got at Joann. I'm not sure like what it's supposed to be. It was in the clearance and it had a lobster claw and I was like, dude, it looks kind of like a nipple tassel, doesn't it? I was like, that's really cool, and there's not many projects big enough for that, but I happen to have one, so I'm gonna pretend it's a progress keeper and I'm gonna buy it because it's like $1, so I did. And now it's my blanket nipple tassel. So, Mom's blanket. 150 garter stitches, kitchen cotton held double. There you go. Oh, which by the way, okay, I got really sick of knitting off the cones. So when I ran out of my first batch of cones, I did cake up my second batch of cones instead of keeping them. And yeah, those cones come out to be like exactly the maximum capacity of my ball winder. So yeah, it worked out. If there was a yard more, then I probably would have been hand winding a little bit, but it turned out okay. And my second whip is the Colorwork Monster Dad's Stramoy cardigan. Look how pretty. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing color work. It looks even better on the camera than it does in real life. In real life, it's like, you can tell an advanced beginner is doing this. Let me see. I'll get it close up. Man, I don't know. That's so, yeah, right here you can kind of see, like, it's a little beginnery in spots. I started off working this in it, which I might, after this, I might take a video of how I have been doing the sleeve in order to avoid this now. But when I started off, you can kind of see there's a little bit of puckering right here. And that was from working magic loop and just doing like flat. I'll show you what I mean. Here, I'll do it right now. So, on this one you can see the side is actually here. So what I do is keep moving the kind of the loop, the magic loop around so that my needles are always together. So like I would knit to, actually what I do is make a triangle like this. So I'll knit to this loop and then I'll put this back in, pull out another third loop. So I kind of have like DPNs going on here. Instead of just 2 sides, I have 3 in my magic loop. And that has really, you can tell that this sleeve is so, well, you can kind of see here where it was too small to do. The needles were too long to do it. I don't have words today apparently, but yeah, you can see as soon as I switched from 2 needles to 3, or 2 sides to 3 sides, how much smoother this gets right away, and how yeah, how much nicer everything looks. See, yeah. It looks really nice from far away, but up close you can see like there's some floats that are messed up. Really long, yeah, there's a really long float that's getting loosey-goosey on me. But you know what? This is literally like my 3rd colorwork project ever, and obviously quite an undertaking, so I am not mad at this at all. Not mad at it. I think that it's pretty good considering like my experience. And I think my dad is still gonna be super impressed, so that's all that matters, right? He'll wear it and be like, my daughter made this! And muggles won't know the difference, they'll be like, holy crap! So it'll be fine. Which actually, this is quickly outgrowing my Willoughby Way bag that it's in. So I will probably move it into the bag that my blanket was in, which is my Knitter's Gonna Knit bag. That reminds me of my friend Mariah. And I'm using these old clover wooden needles that I had. So many shenanigans with this sweater. So, I don't use bulky yarn, and I'm kind of a loose knitter, so I really don't keep large diameter needles around. I had that one from way back when I first started knitting. I'm not sure even like what project I used it on, but oh gosh, I almost kicked over my coffee. Had them at, I really wanted a 40-inch, and the pattern calls for a 10.5, so I was like, okay, well, I'll get a 9, because I know I'm a loose knitter, but a 9 was still too big. And I went to Joann to try and get a 40-inch 9, and they didn't have it on metal, and I was like, I really don't want bamboo. So I got a 32-inch metal, and the cord on it was terrible, which I should have known better, but whatever. And just, so I was like, this isn't workable. So I went to the actual yarn shop, which is another 45-minute drive one way, to get a size 9, like good needle, 40-inch, and so the cable was bad, and I was like, I can't do this. So I went and I got the 9 at the yarn shop, and then come to find out, like, it was too big. So I was like, I am not driving to, 45 minutes to town again. So I came downstairs and was just like rummaging, like trying to find any size 8 needle, like screw it, and I found this one, and I'm like, I'll make it work. I don't even care. So I'm making it work, and I think I'm doing like an okay job. So there's that. So yeah, those are my only 2 whips. I desperately want to cast something else on, but I'm really restraining myself. And since I am restraining myself so much on castonitis, it makes sense that I would have a lot of stash. This is less of a knitting podcast and more of like a shopping podcast at this point. Yeah, I went to Joann, and every time I get out, so last time I told you, like, somehow I only ended up with 1 of my main color for the cardigan, so of course I had to go back online and buy more, and I discovered that they had some new stuff on clearance from the last time I had gotten on there. So I got my big bag of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Superwash Bulky in the Dove Heather colorway, and the black is the Coal colorway on the same yarn. But they also had, a wee bit of my favorite worsted sock yarn, Knit Picks Felici Worsted. This is in the Hibiscus colorway. which totally wants to be a pair of socks for me. Nice worsted pair of socks. So I'm gonna poke those right here now that I showed you. Yay! Put those up as I go, and then I won't have to never get around to it later. And then they also had some new clearance cotton. I loved this. It looked a little more green online and a little more red, and I thought it was like, even though it's called Beachcomber, I thought it looked a little Christmassy, like a little, what's the word, like a subdued Christmas colors, but it's really not. It's definitely coral and teal in real life, and not kind of vintage red and like spruce green like I was thinking. But definitely still super pretty, and I love those colors. So I got that. Boop. And I got this one, which is Liberty. And I'll probably make some dishcloths for my mother-in-law out of that, because she loves some patriotic colors. Will that go up there? I'm doing, like, I'm looking in the camera, so I don't know if that's gonna stay or not. Okay, so I got those from Knit Picks, and then, like I said, I went to Joann a time or two, so I got this book, which is the Knitted Cable Source Book by Nora Gone, and it is beautiful, and I want to knit that sweater so much. It's amazing. So, and the photographs are by Jared Flood. I love Jared Flood. He is probably one of the first knitters that I knew about, that I followed. And yeah, there's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cables. Beautiful patterns. Look at this chunky cardigan. Just so pretty. So very pretty. Let's see. The charts are amazing. There's kind of tutorials about how to do mirroring to make cables, you know, be two-sided for like the middle of a sweater or something. I'm trying to, it's very like, it's not just a swatch book. It teaches you how to use cables and how to combine cables, and it's just very informative. I love books that teach you how to use the information that it gives you too. You know what I mean? They don't just give you the tools, but they teach you how to use them. So very excited about this book. And I also found some of my other books, and well, yeah, you might be able to see just a little bit, put them here. And I have 2 books upstairs that I need to bring down and put there, which means I'm probably going to need to find a different container for my mini skeins, but which I've been looking for one anyway. I want to get like an acrylic one so you can see inside it. But yes, okay, so then I got this on the clearance. My husband wanted, it's amazing, yeah, Amazing Lace, Lamb brand. It's just acrylic lace weight yarn. I think it's 2-ply, I'm not sure. My husband wanted a hat, but he wanted it to be black and gray, like, some people call it tweed, but like this, you know, like the twisted together, 2 colors plied together look to it. And I couldn't find any that were the colors that I wanted, that was superwash or, you know, some other material, fingering weight, whatever. So I decided, okay, well, I'll just get 2 lace weights. So I found this, and I was like, I'll just find the gray. Well, they didn't have it. This was on clearance, and they had like a seafoam green and like a burgundy maybe, which I really should have gotten that burgundy because it was beautiful. But I was like, what am I going to do with lace weight burgundy? I don't need it. So I restrained myself just a little bit, but I did. I want that on the record. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just get on the Lion Brand website and see if I can buy gray on there, and we'll go from there. So I did get the gray, which the baby got a hold of it, but yeah, I got the gray. So the gray is called Eyelet Gray, and the black is called Broomstick Black. So I'm gonna hold these together and make just a slouchy beanie for my husband. That's what he wants. So, where's my lace weight cubby? Here it is. Get in there. Boom. All right, and then they had, well, I got more of my peaches and cream, which I already showed you. They had more of this Wrap Star on the clearance, and it was even cheaper. It was marked down even more, and I really, really, really like this. And I shouldn't say this out loud, but there is a crocheted sweater that I really, really want, and I kind of want to make it out of this. So we'll see if I bust out my hooks, but I might, because I really like this, and that sweater would be very pretty in this. So I already have one skein right here, so I'm gonna put these guys with it. It's one happy family right there. Boom. All right, then I got some more scrubby cotton. I had white, but I wanted more white. And then I got red to go with my Christmas yarn up here for dishcloths, which I don't know if I'll get made, but I'm hoping I will. I mean, dishcloths don't take that long, but, you know, giant blanket and giant colorwork sweater, giant time suck. So, we'll see about that. Oh, I am running out of room in my cotton cubby. Probably I could move these to my worsted. They're technically cotton, but they're not for dishcloths. They're for a garment, so I could do that. Move them to the regular worsted section of my shelf. And the last, oh, I got, Mom wants a ecru stripe on one end of the blanket, so when I get to about 10 inches, yeah, maybe 8 to 10 inches away from the edge of the blanket, I'm going to do a stripe of, let me see if I can get the light to behave, of ecru. I'm not sure how much, I mean, there's not a whole lot of contrast here, but I don't know, maybe enough. It's hard to see on camera because my lights are, you know, I'm working with like a crappy like mini ring light and then a lamp with a night light bulb in it. So this is not a professional operation I've got going on. So yeah. And then the last thing that I got at Joann was these beauties. Oh my goodness. They're the same. They're just wound in different places in the stripe pattern, but you can see here how it knits up. Come on, can you focus? Nope. Anyway, I took way too much time to do that. This is called Clover Colors is the colorway name. It's Patton's Croix socks. FX, and I love it. And as soon as Lydia had picked out, it's her turn to get socks, so she had picked out this colorway, which is the same yarn and the blue striped rag colorway. And then as soon as I bought these, as soon as we got in the car, I turned to my mother-in-law and I said, I bet you any amount of money you want that as soon as Lydia sees that, she's like, can I switch my yarn colors for my socks? And she did. So that's why I bought two, because one's for Lydia and one's for me. I know better. So I'm gonna poke those in my sock cubby. Done. Gonna put this up here too. Okay, and then I got a hold of Shelby of Shipwreck Sheep, who is an amazing dyer, and she was having a bit of a sale, and I wanted some colorways, and I tried to order them on her website, but it said that the quantities were too big, and I wanted sweater quantities. So I got a hold of her and I was like, hey, these are the ones I want. Is there any way you have extra stock put back and you just don't have it on your website or whatever? She said, oh, well, I can get you this colorway, but this colorway I'll have to dye. And I was like, oh, don't go through that extra work for me. And she's like, no trouble at all. I would love to do that for you. So she did, and she's amazing, and I love her. So the first set I got is her... oh my gosh, look how pretty. This is her Tits Out collective colorway, and it's called If I Want Exposure, I'll Get My Fake Tits Out. And the proceeds from this go to Planned Parenthood, which I absolutely love. Oh, that's the... Okay, and she sent me an extra ball band to go on my skein that I already had. I wanted to have 4 skeins. Shipwreck Sheep, it was previously Bayou City Yarn Co. But she rebranded, so she sent me an extra ball band so that they'd all be the same. And yeah, I cannot wait to make something with this. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I will put those up later because I want to take them out of the plastic and get that ball band switched over. But I got one more sweater quantity of fingering weight in the Dirty Beach colorway. This is just on her regular squish sock, and the other is the same squish sock. And the yarn prize is on her, it looks like it might have been reskeined, is on her sparkle sock base. So it's got all the sparklies in it, but this is just regular squish sock. And I love it. I cannot wait to make something out of this. Holy moly, it's beautiful. So yes, very, very excited to have those for my yarn diet next year. Those are gonna be so exciting to work with. Alrighty. Let's see. Lastly, in the yarn acquisitions, I got... Okay, yes. Sorry, I just was scared I forgot something for a second. So Hugh Loco was having like a grab bag sale, and you could get just 3 random skeins of fingering weight for like, I don't know, like $37 plus shipping or something like that. So I was like, okay, sign me up. Mariah tagged me in the post, so it's all her fault. If my husband says anything, I'm just gonna be like, Mariah made me do it. So I actually did a live opening of these last night on Instagram during my live knit night. and it went over really well. Everybody thought that was super fun. I loved getting to see everybody's comments on them right away. The first yarn I pulled out was this one. It's really a very white to very light blue on that whole end. And then it goes into these pretty tan and blue and teal and like navy and a little bit of green and brown, speckly goodness. And I have a feeling that this is probably gonna micro stripe really well. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, boom, socks. Socks for me. That needs to happen. This is the Singin' the Blues colorway. And I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed. Also, this smells so woolly. I made the joke last night that I just need to make like tiny little mini skeins and just shove them up my nose because it smells so good. So good. Okay, so I got that one, which I do not have room up there for, so I'm gonna have to rearrange a little bit this week, I think. The second one I pulled out is this one, which is a One Pot Wonder. And it is these gorgeous greens and browns, like a nice sprucey blue up here, tealy blue, and lots of brown, little tiny bit of purple right here. Just, oh, just so beautiful. So gorgeous. Love it. The last one I got is this tweed yarn in the Primrose colorway. So it's got like these really pretty yellows and greens and a little bit of orange in there. And then of course all these black tweed places. This gorgeous like dusty looking swath right here. As I pointed out last night, there's this lovely little patch of baby poop right here. You know what? I like it. I like baby poop. Oh, there's so many good titles for this episode. How will I choose? But yeah, so that's all the yarn that I bought. But when I went to the yarn shop to buy the needle that did not work for what I needed it for, I also got some stitch markers. So, oh, my other stitch marker is on. So I got my little elephant. She had them on the counter and they were 6 for $5. I was like, oh my gosh, how could I not? How could I just walk away from that? So I got my elephant, my little elephant, and then I got these to go with it. Which they're kind of galaxy looking, very pretty. And then, and I don't have any of this type of, you know, attachment or whatever, however you put that, ring thing. So I really liked the idea of having a couple like that. I like, for some weights of yarn or some sizes of needles, I like those kind of have different size rings on them. And then I also got this pin, which I haven't decided where I'm going to put it yet, but the yarn shop is called Serendipity Fibers, so I got their pin, which is really nice. So yeah, I thought I'd support them and grab that. So let me consult my list. Talked about my stitch markers. Oh, I got 3 more, but they're 3 more stitch markers, but they're a gift for somebody, so I will not be showing those. In fact, well, no, they're not in the mail, but they're packaged up already. So the last thing I got is kind of an unconventional purchase for a yarn, whatever. I bought a salad spinner. And part of the reason why is to, like, when I wash socks or whatever, I can wash a big batch of socks, you know, squeeze them out as best I can and then throw them in here and spin out the extra water so that they'll dry a little bit faster, or like a small, like a hat or something like that. Or if I wash a skein of yarn before I want to use it, like if it's red or something, I usually try to soak it beforehand just to get a little bit of the bleeding out, and especially if I'm gonna mix it with another yarn. But anyway, so I got it for that, but also the really big reason that tipped me over the edge on this of like, I'd been thinking about buying one for a while, but what really convinced me was somebody on Instagram posted about how they were knitting the sleeve on their sweater. So they put the sweater in here, and then as they were knitting the sweater, it just turned in the salad spinner and didn't get all wound up. So they didn't have to keep flipping the sweater around. It just spun around in the bowl. And I was like, that's amazing. I want that. So here you go. Which that was its own set of, like, there's just been shenanigans upon shenanigans with my knitting. I started a Harlow hat for my papa. And so I started in the adult large, and it literally could have been a child's sweater. It was humongous. So I was like, okay, I'll rip that out, and I'll go down a needle size and go down a hat size. In the pattern, still humongous. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram. I don't know if I still have it or not. I'll see if I can. If I can put it here, then I'll put it here. Ridiculous. So I ripped that out, and I was like, no, you know what? I've knit this hat twice, and I'm done. For now, I'm done with this hat. I need to start Dad's sweater, so forget it. So, which the last time I did a brioche project, I had to rip it out and reknit it like a whole bunch of times. I don't know what that crap's about. So then, yeah, I bought this salad spinner, and I was like, dang, this is awesome. I can't wait to get it. And as soon as I pulled it out, it had like a lever top on it. And I pulled it straight out of the box, and it worked great. And I had it put up so the kids didn't get a hold of it or anything. Nothing happened to it, okay? Took it to the laundry room to spin out the red yarn that I used for my papa's hat. And put it in there and started pushing it, and it just sat there and didn't do anything. And I'm like, what is going on? This worked literally like yesterday. I don't get it. So, and it had like a lot, like over 100 5-star, 4-star reviews on Amazon. So I got on there and I read the reviews, and they were like, why does this have such good reviews? This thing was broken straight out of the box and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, so paid reviewers got on there and were like, 5 stars because it was free, hooray! So I sent it back and ordered this one, which is from Cuisinart. It's not, you know, it's not high tech. And actually, I purposefully ordered one with the turning knob on it instead of the lever so that it would be less likely to get broken in a way that I couldn't fix it. I don't know if that makes any sense, because I doubt I could probably fix it anyway, but whatever. It made me feel better. So, yeah. I'm super... Oh, it had some water in it. I just dumped water all over myself. Oops! Oh, anyway. So, yeah. That's my last purchase. I'm at 48 minutes. That's really not bad. I really thought it would take longer to talk through everything. I must be, like, going a mile a minute. But yeah, so hopefully next time I'll have some finished goodness to show you, or at least like very exciting progress, because I can almost guarantee that there's going to be no new cast-ons. It's just going to be a sweater and a blanket. And probably, well, actually I will have some stash enhancement, because Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted is going on. Oh, this is my first year participating, and I'm obsessed. I've bought like 16 or 17 patterns for people, and I'm sending out all kinds of yarn. It's just the most fun thing ever. I've been granting wishes, but then also anytime somebody grants a wish for me, then I, as sneakily as I can, I try and like find their Ravelry name and see if they have a wish list, and then I'll send them a pattern just as a thank you. So it's been so much fun. I've spent way too much money, but so I'll have a couple things coming in to show you from that next time too, so that'll be super fun. And I emailed Kara about interpreting today. It's been a month since the last time I talked to her, so hopefully she gets back with me. If she doesn't by the afternoon, I'm gonna go ahead and upload this, and fingers crossed maybe she'll be ready for next time. If not, if any of you know interpreters, please let me know. I would love to get in touch with somebody. I'm feeling, what's the word? I said that I would have interpretation, and you know, if there's an off week or whatever, that, you know, life happens. But I'm kind of at the point where I just had the one episode and that was it, and I really want to be consistent about having interpretation, or, you know, it's not ideal, but going ahead and saying like I'm not, because right now I just feel like I'm in limbo, and it's really bothering me. So yeah, hopefully that gets worked out really soon. Sorry, I just needed a jolt of caffeine really quick, I guess. I have high hopes that Kara will be ready to get back into it very soon. So anyways, I think that's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. You are all so dear to me. I really appreciate your comments and your messages. I love having you join me on my live knit nights on Mondays at 9 Eastern time on Instagram. I am doing Zoom and Instagram every other week for now, so next week will be Zoom. I would love to have you join me, and all the information on how to join and the link for my chat room is on my Instagram page, and I think I might be able to pop it into the description as well. So yeah, links for everything that I talked about can be found in the description box. And if you have any other questions, feel free to comment or message me. And I never have asked this before, but I will today. Please like and subscribe and share my video if you like what I do. I'm not out to, you know, to become famous or have like, you know, 10,000 subscribers or whatever like that. Like, I'm not worried about it, but at the same time, you know, it is kind of a confidence booster for me to see those new subscribers roll in, and it's kind of just a little bit of a reinforcement that people like what I'm doing, and that you know, I'm not kind of like talking to a brick wall. So yeah, if you feel led to, I'm not gonna beg, but yeah, if you feel led to, go ahead and share with your friends, and like and subscribe and all that stuff. Leave a comment, and yeah, thanks so much. Bye.